You okay?
Yeah. No, we're back. We're
We're
back and we're
back.
live.
And on a Friday. I had to travel
Oh,
yesterday. So,
I didn't even
uh,
realize that.
right? Yeah. Traveled yesterday and got home last night, and now I'm back and connection's really good. So
Nice.
I'm very, very happy. Yeah.
Do you ever think about like upgrading your studio generally? I was looking at some kits to just really up the game. Mostly visually.
I need a visual upgrade as well back here,
Yeah.
but I don't know what. And this is also my guest room. So like I can't be hanging like Fila and Gamma posters all over the thing and
I don't
then
know.
have my mom come and stay in it for a week.
Why not?
Okay. I'll
I don't
have
hate
it
that.
painted.
I just got an email and I just have to mention this because I just got an email, had no idea it was happening.
Okay.
Selkirk just sent me $700 worth of paddles.
So
Not
two
not an ad.
paddles.
Not an ad,
That's
by the way,
so
but
that's two paddles.
3.
Three, three paddles.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Gamma paddles I have, dude? I have got like 40.
Dude, this is crazy.
What?
I don't know, just some of the paddles that they're coming out with and stuff like that. And again, they're not an ad. I'm just kind of talking about it. But it's nice when you get an email that you're about to receive a bunch of new
Stuff.
pickleball paddles you didn't even ask
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
I left my pickleball shoes in Michigan. I was like, I'll buy some new ones, and then I forgot to. So I was playing
Oh.
pickleball in non like tennis or pickleball shoes.
Oh, I bet
And
you look like such a doofus on the courts.
I was less concerned about the look and more concerned about
Getting
breaking
hurt.
my ankle.
Could
It
you
makes
tell
a
a big
massive
difference?
difference. Yeah, like
Because
if
I
it's
have a
not a
guy
flat
here.
sole.
I have a guy here who will only play in running shoes.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's how I feel. The upper isn't designed to hold your foot in place. Like
Right.
my Fila's, my ankle is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So
No, it makes a huge difference. And having that flat, grippy bottom. But then you'll see like a player like a Jack Foster who will wear legitimately two different shoes, and one of the shoes is just a piece of crap. And the idea is the sole of the shoe is worn,
to
so he can
slide.
slide really really well. And then his other shoe is super grippy.
I noticed that with Zane Navratil too. He wears shoes until they wear through to the ball of his foot, till he's touching skin
Yeah,
to the court. And I'm like, that's not for me.
I don't listen. If I'm at a point where I want to be sliding that much, I have that much momentum,
Yeah,
then I am risking far too much for a pickleball game.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't ever
difference
want to be at that
between
point.
that's the difference between us and top level pros. The only difference,
The only
probably.
difference.
Yeah. So, what have you got going on, Thomas? You're still in school, or are you out of school for the summer and getting back into it? What's going on?
Yeah, we just took finals, but I have to write a paper today.
Ooh, is it going to
And
be
I have
about pickleball?
it's like a 5-page paper. It's about a business idea, so maybe I'll choose one of these pickleball companies and what they're up to. But yeah, so and then hopefully playing a little bit this weekend. We'll see.
We have a ton of news today, just like pickleball stuff getting sprinkled all over like it has been for the last like 6 months. But I also want to wait for our guest to have him chime in, because I'm very excited for this guest.
Are you? Yeah, he's one of the funniest people. I think once I have this conversation, he'll be one of the funniest people I've ever met. Maybe the funniest.
More than me, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are going to be neck and neck. So it's going to be tough. There's going to be a big performance for you. There's a lot.
I don't think so. If he wants the limelight and the spotlight, he can have it. But Kyle Newacheck,
Yep.
one of the creators of Workaholics,
Yep.
which one of my favorite shows when it was out.
My buddies and I still quote that constantly today.
Yeah. And now he's working on an FX show, right?
So I mean,
writing
like,
it.
so,
He's created it.
yeah, he's an executive producer on a ton of stuff. He also, and I'm going to bring it up to him, also produced like one of my favorite, like a music video for one of my favorite songs ever.
Oh,
But I know him best as the pot dealer on
That's how I know
Workaholics.
him. That's how I know
Which
him.
if you don't know the show, I think it was probably 2011 to like 2017 or something like that. And
Comedy
it was
Central.
like three dudes who were kind of burnouts, trying to make something of their life, all living in the same house, a little older than you should be when you live in a house like that. And they'd come up with funny ideas.
They worked in a call center.
Smoked a lot of weed, all worked in a call center
together. Yeah.
And I think really it was like one of those shows. It was like It's Always Sunny, where, they sort of just like filmed the pilot on some crappy video camera and just put it out there. And it was so hilarious that it just got organic traction. And then eventually it grew into what it was, which was like a well-produced and well-known TV show on Comedy Central.
Yeah. Very funny.
So,
and then all of those guys have gone on to lots of other really great stuff. And yeah.
But we know Kyle because I first heard of him as like a pickleball fan because he is on a podcast. He hosts a podcast with the Workaholics crew. It's called This Is Important. And he was there just kind of like fighting the good fight, as we all do, right? Trying to just advocate for pickleball and convince them that it wasn't this, joke of a sport. Or
did they believe him?
They were ribbing him, giving him crap for it, but he did a good job. So he's obsessed with pickleball. He sends us DMs all the time.
Yeah. And he's in my DMs too. And we've been trying to get him on for a while. And things have never aligned, and now they are aligning. So
you couldn't do it, so I had to step in.
Well, he messaged me while I was traveling and said, I can do your podcast now. Okay. And then I didn't respond to him. I was talking to him about pickleball back and forth. And so, yeah. So you did. You're the closer.
Correct. But there is like a lot of different news. So we'll see if he has takes on some of the stuff. But
he definitely will.
I sent you that GQ article. I really want to talk about that because I thought it was funny. There was stuff that was wrong. I think it was an interesting take because we haven't heard this type of take from a major publication yet. Usually when you see these stories, it's just like, pickleball is the greatest thing ever. Pickleball is the future. Pickleball is growing at this rate. And this one kind of came at it from a different angle, more of like a realistic, like, well, is it going to be that big? And provided some counterpoints and a fresh perspective. And so I appreciated that, but they still got a lot of stuff wrong, as most do.
Yeah. Did you like that? You did like that perspective, though? Because when I read through it, you sent it to me this morning, like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I sped read it, which is another one of my many talents. Yeah, I can probably speed read faster than you, Thomas. But my understanding of it is that tennis is currently also booming.
Yeah.
And my perspective from tennis as a avid pickleball player is there are not people on my local tennis courts very often. But I'm in Arizona. Maybe that's the hotbed, one of the hotbeds of pickleball. There are still people playing tennis, but when I look on social media, when I watch TV, tennis is very, very present.
Yeah. So
where is the intersection of those parabolas?
Okay, calm down with the big words, dude. You need to take a step back. I mean, it's Friday, okay?
I'm just and in the article it was like there's so many companies getting into tennis. There's a resurgence. It's almost like the golf resurgence of a handful of years ago, where fashion is getting involved with tennis again, and there's new and exciting stuff, and tennis has never looked better than it does now. But at the same time, my local courts are not booked. Like they're saying in GQ that like you have to wait in line for courts for tennis and stuff like that. I could go right now to my pickleball and tennis court in my HOA. Nobody's at the tennis court. I can't get on the pickleball court for 2 weeks, which is how far out you're allowed to book.
What do you say we get Kyle's take on the matter?
I want to.
Let's do it. Let's bring him in.
Yo.
There he is.
What's up? What's happening?
How goes it?
Great.
good, man.
Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pickleball. Let's see.
No. See,
Dink
Where are
and,
you getting these
Dink and
shirts?
go nuts, dude. Are you making these yourself?
I saw
No.
another shirt you had, and I was like, God, where's he getting those from?
Listen, I know these
Oh.
Hollywood types. He's got like a silk screen thing in his basement where he's like, "This is my art. This is my outlet."
Right. No, actually, all you have to do is go to Amazon.com and search it and type in pickleball funny. Pickleball t-shirts funny.
Okay.
And that's it.
And do you have an associate link for all of these shirts that you could just like shoot out to all our listeners?
Yeah, I'll send you the link to this one and the other shirt that I have that is, what is it? It says, I don't always play pickleball, ... Oh, wait. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
Kyle, how you been, dude? You've been
I'm-
super busy.
Yeah, I've been busy. But loving this new thing that I got, this new addiction called pickleball to take my mind off of Hollywood and all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've been busy. I was working on What We Do in the Shadows. That's what I'm primarily doing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that show. You know that show?
We do know that show, but we also, both of us are avid and very diehard Workaholics fans from how many years ago now is that?
I don't know, man, but I think 2011 was maybe the first year.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was just thinking, like, I was at Comic-Con with Shadows, and I was like, I think 2013 was when I first started going, or 2012 to Comic-Con. So it's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just remember it as
well.
being like when I was getting close to graduating from high school and then moving into college.
Oh my
It's
God.
like that era for me. Yeah.
You had it all through college.
Yeah. This is
Sorry about
I
that.
think the end of high school and like the beginning of college is when I really watched it. Yeah.
Damn.
We talked to Doug Ellen, who's the creator of Entourage, which I think all the young men of that era and that age, that was their dream, was like the Entourage was the fantasy. And then the reality was Workaholics. So when you watch Workaholics, you're like, this is me and my friends. And we're all trying to make something of ourselves and we're going nowhere. And that's okay because we're having fun.
Yeah, that's hella funny. I mean, yeah, Entourage like got us through those early ranks of Hollywood too, where we're like, oh, dude, you're like Vinny, and I'll be like E, and like, Turtle's over there, like, just like, look, it's hard for them sometimes too, because it seems so easy for them to be in Hollywood and making it,
right?
But yeah.
So let's get back to pickleball, because you probably talk about all this other garbage all the time, dude, and you probably have other outlets to cover it and stuff. I mean, you can talk about it if you want to, but
no, I'm here to talk about pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm here with y'all to talk about pickleball.
Love it.
How did you get into it?
It was actually the writers on What We Do in the Shadows, the showrunner and one of the other writers, Paul Sims and Sam Johnson. They said they were playing pickleball, and we were going to go to Toronto and start working. This was late in like 2021, I guess, and they were like, "You got to play pickleball," and the name alone was like, "What's that? That's hilarious."
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, like I'm already in. Just because it's called pickleball, right. And then I saw that it was ping pong, kind of, there's a root in ping pong that I have a root in ping pong. So I was like, okay, I love ping pong, but it's not, I don't know. I like to run around too and do like, half court basketball or whatever.
Yeah.
And so once we started playing in Toronto, it was like, oh, game on, dude. As soon as and also there's an age difference between us, and we were having great games. And I wanted a game that could be like, it doesn't matter how old you are, but that's how I got started. And then I learned more about it, the Shadows writers.
Yeah, that's super. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things of the sport is being able to connect with like people from any generation. Like people way older than us are crushing us, and then we're crushing people younger than us. So it feels good all the way around, right?
It's the best. I got a buddy's dad who I play with here and in the Bay Area. And that's how we haven't seen each other in a long time. And so we play, he's got to be like 70, right?
Yeah.
We play singles and I get really close, but I have not like hammered it home yet. And I've probably played him like at least 25 times.
Do you go home dejected from that, or do you feel good about that? Like what? Because I played with my 70-year-old neighbor. That's how I got into it initially. And I would take him and we would learn the rules together. And he was beating me at first. And I would come home and my wife could instantly tell that I had not beaten this 70-year-old guy. And she's like, "Oh, you didn't win today, did you?" I was like, "No." And it's upsetting because I move way better than him. I don't know what's going on. He played a lot of racquetball.
Well, that's like the wisdom that's in pickleball as well, because you have a very like fast climb early. Like everybody jumps in and they're like, dude, I love pickleball. This is fantastic. But then once you get on the court and you start really playing, it's like there's some very easy like strategy that you can do to keep the other person winded and running. And that seems to go on. I never played tennis, so I don't have a basis of this.
Right.
This dude who's 70 and can beat me all the time played tennis, so he's got like this inside information that I'm like, what was that? How'd you
Yeah.
do that?
So are you more of a singles or doubles guy?
I like them both.
Yeah.
I like them both. I think I really enjoy playing singles. But I don't really have the wind for more than like, 4 or 5 games. It's like I'm trying, but it really does make you run around, and I'm going to get there. I'm just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's good for you too, that get the exercise, and feels good to leave the court exhausted.
Yeah. But doubles is, it's more fun. I think doubles is like when you have a teammate and you're, both working as hard as you can and really flipping it all over the court. It's like, that's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What level of fandom are you? Are you streaming professional events live when you can? Are you watching highlights on YouTube? Do you know all the top pros? Are you going to events? Like, where are you at?
So no events. I haven't gone to a pickleball event yet, but I did sign up for a tournament and then I didn't go to it. I was actually going to compete.
That's the first step.
Yeah, I just didn't go.
That's a rite of passage.
Yeah, you have to do that. You have to sign up, and then the morning of be like, I can't, I won't.
Yes.
I was so tripping. I was so tripping on it. So I just was like, no, I'm not going to go out to Monterey this year. But let's see. I'm watching, I follow on Instagram, so I get all the highlights. I get a lot. I know some pros. I mean, shout out to my guy, Tyson McGuffin. Been a fan since the beginning, just like his style. I like when they used to not have, I don't know if they have bleeps on there anymore, but they used to not have bleeps on the pro circuit, and you could catch some drama. Yeah.
We need to get back to that. I think we've cleaned it up a bit, but we got to mic those guys up and get them angry at each other again.
It was it was an interesting dynamic there at the beginning. I remember texting and texting links to like all the Shadows writers being like, check it now, because they don't have their finger on the bleep button. And it's like, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But
Tyson, probably one of the more radical, as far as style goes, one of the more radical players probably the most radical, honestly. Like he's totally, wearing the short shorts, wearing the bright colors, got the cool haircut, got the tats. Yeah. What do you think his tats are? Have you seen him up close?
No, I haven't. I have not.
I think they're all pickleball centric, because I know his license plate is very pickleball centric.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If he's got a tattoo of like the Grim Reaper of pickleball, dude, I will flip. Like absolutely flip. That would be the tightest thing that he could do.
Maybe we got to get him on here and go through his whole tat, like the origin story of all his tats.
Right. And he can just like Sharpie a pickleball, like, racket or a paddle and oh shit, I called it a racket.
That's okay. A lot of people do that. I understand what you meant.
Thank you. Yeah. That's an early mistake meant to just, let everybody out there know that it happens. All right. It happens to the best of us.
And just be patient with these guys. When they call it a racket, it's okay to not correct them.
You can flex your knowledge, but also let them in.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Don't box them out. All right.
So do you know what level you are? What level did you sign up for on your tournament?
Honestly, I went 3, right in the middle.
Okay.
No idea. No idea. That could have been way more than I am. I don't know.
Could be
I
way
didn't,
less too. I mean,
could be
come
way
on.
less.
Yeah.
I'd
You
love
don't
to figure
know.
it out. I have no idea.
Well, we have Duper, which is a system that can figure it out if you play other people who are also on Duper, which is an app, and they use like an algorithm and you can put in games versus your opponents, even if they're rec games. And that's kind of a style, or you can just ask a pro and play with a pro for a few rounds, and they'll usually be able to like steer you in a pretty good direction.
That's what I need to do. I just need to kind of get some eyes on my game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet you're above a 3. If you're playing regularly, then there would be no reason you're a 3 or a 3.5 at the very minimum.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm playing all the time. Starting to get into like, like doubles games where it actually feels like what I'm seeing on TV,
Yeah, that's the beauty of the sport, though, is like, I know when I started playing, I was like, oh, I could probably be pro. I'm watching what they're doing. I'm kind of mimicking it. The difference is they do it 98% of the time. They execute
Right.
exactly what's going on in their brain.
Yep.
And for me, it's like 30% of the time.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I said on my podcast with the guys from Workaholics that I want to go pro in pickleball. Like, because I would like to latch onto the sport and just play it until I'm 90. You know what I mean? Like that's
definitely.
the cool thing about the game is like it's like golf or something. You can. But I'm not going to do it in my 30s, maybe not even in my 40s, probably reserving that for 50s. I'm going to be pro.
Yeah. So you're going to start training now. How old are you right now?
I'm 38 years old.
You're 38. And so you're like probably like 15 years away from being pro.
Right. That's kind of what I'm setting my expectations of
slow
myself
build.
at. Yeah. Maybe 40, maybe late 40s,
And something to work towards too, because you got so much going on right now. And this is like a goal for the distant future. I like it.
Yeah, it's something to keep going in the background,
Yeah.
I mean, first it's try and get a pickleball movie out to the market,
Are you doing it?
I don't know, man. I obviously when you get jumped into a sport like this and it's so addicting, all you can think about is like, well, wait, what if I made a flick in this,
Yeah. I know some stuff is happening in Hollywood with mostly documentary style stuff, but like a dodgeball style film.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know who's doing it, and at least get a cameo in it, even if it's just at least let me get in there and flip a paddle or something,
Well, here's the deal I'll make with you. If I hear anything, I'll let you know and connect you. And if you hear anything, do the same for me.
Likewise. You got it, dude. That's a deal.
Okay.
That's a deal.
Deal. So you went on your podcast. What's the name of the pod again with the Workaholics guys?
It's called This Is Important.
This is important. And check it out, everybody. And they harassed you when you said you like pickleball, right? They weren't letting you have it.
Those guys, they like to razz me. That's our relationship. But when it came to pickleball, I was pretty serious about it, and they thought they could still razz me about it, and that was not really that nice because it is my my new true love.
Right.
My oldest friend is Blake from that group, and Blake gave me shit about it and really wouldn't let up until I had him over to my house. And I got a sand lot of a pickleball court in the backyard.
Okay.
I got like the spray painted lines, and it's got like there's some bad bumps in there. You know what I mean? But I had him over.
Variance. That's just variance. Those bumps.
Yeah, exactly. So I had him over and we played a game of doubles, and he was like, "Oh, this is awesome," because he plays ping pong as well, not tennis, but ping pong. And then we played singles, and he loved it. I beat him 2 out of 3, of course, but he got close on his first games. He's got energy. And then he came back to the pod and he's like, "Yo, I just bought a paddle." It's like, "Oh, so you're in."
Because this is what you should do, because he razzed you so hard, is you should introduce him to the sport and then figure out a way to take it away from him forever. That's just my mind thinking.
I don't know, man. I just want to play doubles with him. I think him and I would be a fantastic team, and we would work for it. And I would love to play actually with him. Like
Where you're out of the Bay Area, what spot specifically?
I'm out of the Bay Area, the East Bay, like Danville, Alamo area.
Okay.
Yep.
Thomas, when we making our way down there, because we'll take you and Blake on, or mix it up if we need to. You got to get Blake in shape, though. This is a reason for Blake to hit the court harder and more.
When would this be? And
I don't know.
Where are you guys?
I'm outside of Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm in Austin.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, wow, we're all over the place right now, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, we are. This is the beauty of technology. But we, Thomas, are you going to be in LA for the next week?
Listen, if Kyle tells me to be in LA, I'll be in LA whenever he like drop a hat. Here's my suggestion though, Tyson.
Okay. Yep.
Because Kyle, Tyson and I think at this point we prefer to be adversaries. We should mix it up, right? So like I'll take Blake or I'll take you, and Tyson will take the other.
I definitely think that would be strongly matched. That would be a better match. You would absolutely crush.
Well, because Thomas and I have played together, and we both kind of hold each other accountable for our losses. Like neither one of us is willing to take the blame, and so we're both like, "No, it was you. It was you more." And that's probably pride and also a delusion. But
yeah,
what's next week? Is next week Newport? Is that what that is?
Next week's Newport, and there's also LA. So Newport is the Major League Pickleball.
Yep.
And then LA at the Riviera is the PPA's exact copy and replica of Major League Pickleball.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going.
Oh, yeah, I read that. I read that in the article. There's like two major leagues that are. There's WWE and WCW right now.
There's three.
Oh, there's three. And ECW.
But this is the best though. One of them is the PPA and the other one's the APP. I don't know why I fell in love with that right when I got into sport. I was like, they couldn't have like been more different than just like reversing the letters on their thing.
The PPA, then the APP.
Professional Pickleball Players, Professional Pickleball Association,
right.
And then Association of Professional Pickleball
Players. It's actually the APPP.
Dude, they don't even know it yet, but they're the same.
Yes, exactly. They don't. Just look in the mirror, guy. That's all they got to do.
Nobody told them yet, but they're the same company. Wow.
And then Major League Pickleball decided to go MLP. So that's at least different, which,
I like MLP.
Yeah,
I think that satisfies me in the same way that just the title of the name pickleball does. The MLP. I like that.
MLP. Here we go.
I'm into
that. We have a friend that is the coach, the pickleball coach at the Riv too. So he could probably get us in on the courts there if we ever wanted to play there.
Now, is this? I think I know this person. I think
McNasty.
I've had some texts with McNasty. I want to get in there.
Pictures as well, or just
no, just words.
Okay,
just words.
See,
and then I follow him on
Thomas,
Instagram.
I was right. He can read.
I can
McNasty
read.
Can read. No, not you, Kyle.
Oh, I thought you were digging on me. I'm like,
no,
bro.
We only dig on McNasty here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was supposed to go down there, go over there last time I was in town. But next time, absolutely. I think I'm coming down. So wait, LA is in 2 weeks? Is that what you said?
Next week. Next week.
It's the same weekend as Newport.
Same weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so you're going? Okay, got it.
I'm not going to be there. I have to be in Pittsburgh for a different pickleball tournament.
Oh my God, it's so big.
There's right. It's so much. Which we wanted to get your opinion on.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
We just got an article come through today from GQ magazine, and they're saying that pickleball is not maybe necessarily as big as everyone thinks it is, and that it's just the PR and the drive, kind of similar. Well, not really. I mean, CrossFit was super big and everybody talked about it and stuff, but like they're saying that our perspective as pickleball players is tennis is dying, pickleball is here. Mm-hmm. But they're saying tennis is also thriving and pickleball's not as big as everyone says it is. What is your personal experience because my experience is pickleball is thriving everywhere I go. Everyone wants to play pickleball. Tennis courts are empty.
Yes, I think pickleball is absolutely the hot new thing. You know what I mean? It's like, what is this? And it's obviously more attainable. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you can
Yes.
step onto the pickleball court and start playing.
Yes.
Definitely.
Tennis court, I've always been intimidated by a tennis court, you know, but now that I've played pickleball, I might not be as intimidated by
You
a
think
tennis court.
pickleball's a gateway?
Well, I have been looking at tennis courts like I've never looked at tennis courts before, having not played the game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
There's
I am
actually-
looking at it and wondering.
There's part of me that's also doing that. Like I played a little bit of tennis, like 10 to 13 years old. I was in a club, and now I'm looking again and being like, Gamma makes tennis rackets too. Should I try this? But I asked some of the pros, and they're like, only if you want to torture yourself, because it is so much more frustrating than playing pickleball.
Yeah, I think it would be one of those like, I'm going to hang out and do this mindful activity. You know what I mean? I'm not really, that's the only reason I'm doing it, and to learn the game kind of and to run, you know,
Right.
for exercise. But I mean, that's what everybody's getting out there for. We've all come through the pandemic. They're like, let me get on the pickleball court and play teams. That's exercise. It's like, yeah, kind of. But then you play singles, and then you know what I mean? And then you play singles, and it's a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, you know, like we need that. That's what I got. That's what I got from that other article, like, can pickleball save America? It's like, it's getting everybody out there mingling again.
Right.
Yes.
And that's worth a lot, you know, in an outdoor setting when people are nervous. It's like, there's circumstantial evidence that says pickleball is supposed to boom right now.
Yes.
It's supposed to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. How big will it get? I don't know. It's moving fast.
Yeah. So this GQ article, they compared it to kale when kale got popular. Right. It was like everyone was talking about it, but nobody actually liked it, which I thought was kind of a funny analogy.
Nobody still likes it, but it's supposed to be, it's a superfood.
But exactly, that's what I'm saying. It is classified as a superfood. Sometimes I'll go to some kale if I need some nutrients. You know what I mean? If pickleball becomes that, like, it won't become that, but that's also like, it's good for you. If pickleball is just like good for your mind, then
it's like if kale was delicious.
Right, with blueberries.
Exactly. Exactly. It'd be like if kale was crisp in the oven with a ton of butter and salt.
Some seasoning up on that. Kale chips. Kale chips rock.
Yes, exactly. So they did compare it to kale. I remember that, but
I can't really get behind that comparison, to tell you the truth.
No,
I can't.
No.
Sorry, I tried to walk GQ. I tried. Can't get behind that one.
Yeah.
No.
I was saying that, like, it is the only article that's taken sort of the opposite perspective, or at least been a realist about it, because anytime you read about pickleball right now, it's just pure advocacy, and it just endlessly talks about how pickleball is the future and the next big thing. It's just only proponents. So I did appreciate how they kind of at least scrutinized it a little bit and offered a different perspective. But yeah, they compared it to kale and fidget spinners.
Mm-hmm.
Fidget spinners, I kind of understood a little bit, but fidget spinners with like infinite variables, you know, it's more like a yo-yo than a fidget spinner. You know what I mean? Because a yo-yo, you can do tricks and showcase your craft of yo-yo.
Right.
Fidget spinners, you're just simply like, or I don't know, people, maybe they're balancing fidget spinners and like tossing them and stuff, but like, I think it's more like there's more to it than just.
That's exactly how I feel. When I compare it to something, I compare it to golf, in the sense that instead of going out for 18 holes for 4 hours and having one good shot to go home and be excited about and be like, I hit one shot like a pro, you can come home after 2 hours on the pickleball court and be like, I hit 20 shots like a pro.
Yeah.
Like, there's always those highlight moments that make you feel so good, that come off the paddle perfectly, exactly as you envisioned. And that's enough to give you the serotonin you need in your brain to go home and be happy about the rest of the day.
Exactly. Gives you a let's go for the rest of the day, you
Yep.
know, and we're just out here trying to collect let's goes.
Exactly. The more you can bank to start your day, the better.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
important to note that the person comparing it to kale and fidget spinners is like a tennis player who they interviewed because they're like the prototypical tennis player who looks down upon pickleball. So like they wanted that
Well,
perspective.
see, I thought that it was interesting because I'm like, I don't know if like the tennis courts are busy. They're not. Wherever I
Right.
play pickleball, they're not. There's maybe
Right.
somebody having a game, and that's what it is. But like I said, I'm interested in that game. I guess there is. I don't know that it's a here or there or us or them kind of thing. It might be a both. It might be a let's have a
Sure.
huge party here.
Yeah.
Um,
Snowboarding and skiing,
right.
road biking versus mountain biking. Like all of these are things that coexist and to some
Exactly.
degree thrive off of each other or can be in harmony. And I think with that's where we are already there with some people. Like I know a lot of tennis instructors who love to play pickleball. They
Yeah.
teach tennis, they play pickleball, they love them both. But yeah.
I mean, I'm a pickleballer. I haven't stepped foot on a tennis court, and I don't know that I will in the next year because I'm going to be focusing on my game because I worry about pickleball, not tennis. All right. That's where I'm at personally, if
Yeah.
you want that quote, you know, but the world.
And you're going to be pro in your 50s, dude.
I'm
in
going
12
pro
to 15 years, you watch the courts for Kyle Newacheck.
Dude, you
Yep.
could. That's real.
You know, there's a truth.
Senior Pro Tour. They take that pretty seriously.
Yeah, my favorite pro like that's an older gentleman is what's his name? Matthias. Yeah.
I used to get compared to him because I had long hair and also I have a really pointy face.
Yes.
And I met him in person the first time and everybody was like, he could be your dad. And I was like, probably.
He is on another level. I love watching him play, man.
Yeah.
Because he just like seems to be able to be like to reach from one side of the court to the other side of the court.
Right.
You know, he can just like cover it. And you're like, how are you?
He's gangly.
Yeah.
Super unassuming looking. Like he looks like he's just kind of there to hang out. And then he gets out there and he crushes everybody. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, like consistently gold medaling in some of these senior events.
That's the beauty of the sport though, to a certain degree. You can wear old cargo shorts and you know, and kick ass. You can't do that in tennis.
When I first started, I was wearing Jordans. I was very stoked on wearing Jordans to play pickleball.
Yeah, because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Right?
And it kind of worked. It was like, you know, my ankles were fresh. They weren't really ready to go back and forth and get jostled like that. So I was like, lace them all the way up and we'll be good.
It depends on the type of Jordan because some of them have that flat sole, particularly like those classic ones that I mean, I don't know the name of them.
The
that
Jordan
wears.
ones.
Like, yeah, it's like a total flat.
Come on, those ones. I don't know the name. The Jordan ones.
How do you know? How do you know that's what I'm talking about, dude? Okay,
because I know the flat sole, and I also am 42 years old, bro. 43 years old.
So I have a question. What is a pickleball shoe? What do you guys wear to play pickleball? I'm starting to jump into that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to get here.
It's a court shoe. So you could get a tennis shoe or a pickleball specific. Some of the pickleball specific shoes, I wear the Fila.
Dude, he'd like the Fila ones. The Fila ones with the actual pickleballs on them. Kyle, I feel like that's right.
They have pickleball print on the side. And they also, I'll send you some.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll DM. You tell me the size.
Okay. You know, I'll take them, bro. Size 13. Right here.
Okay. I'll get your address and everything.
I'm looking for. Because I want to know what I'm supposed to be. You know, I want to try.
You can just wear any tennis shoe, any hardcore tennis shoe.
Yeah, I wear Hoka's right now, and I like them.
You do? The ones with the big bottoms, or
I
cushy
do.
ones?
Well, they're not actually. Okay, here's the thing. They look like they have big bottoms.
Danger.
Okay.
No. They look like they have big bottoms. They don't really have big bottoms.
Yeah,
do
people
they?
say that about me.
It depends. There's different models.
So is this why my ankles are kind of taking a beating?
Yeah,
because
they're not designed for moving side to side. You need an upper that is more stable. So when you push to the side, it keeps your foot on top of the sole rather than kind of sliding around or off the sole a little bit.
Right. Like a Hoka is so rounded that when you come to a stop, you're like the shoe naturally pushes you to so your ankle's just trying to like stabilize your feet the whole time.
Like a running shoe is designed for moving forward. Only. Yes.
Right.
So anything side to side. Yeah.
That's
basketball shoes are designed for that too, but their soles are softer. So you're going to wear through a basketball shoe really quickly on the court.
Well, that's okay if I wear through it. So would you suggest I put my Jordans back on?
Over your Hokas for sure. But I'm going to send you some Filas and you're going to like those more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, if you wear them.
Yeah. That's all I wear.
I'm in.
Okay, good.
I'm in.
You're influenced.
I've been influenced.
Good.
That's right. I just got a pickleball bag, so I'm pretty hyped about that. But yeah, I'm getting all the accoutrements.
Yeah, you have to live the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Dude, everywhere I go, like airports, if I wear anything pickleball, guaranteed somebody's like, bro, pickleball. And I'm like, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's booming, man. It's a real thing. I'm blown away at how blown out the courts in Burbank are, like just over the last 6 months. Like I feel like I was going there wasn't a lot of people there, and now it's like you wait for an hour and a half to play a game.
What's the system there? Do you just put your paddle down and wait?
Yep.
And then people are supposed to rotate out after every game, right?
Yep.
And do they do that, or are there people that just like, I'm staying on the court and I've got big muscles, so wait your turn?
There are groups of people that kind of have their own rotation and they've reserved it, but there's only 4 courts, so it's just kind of like, oh man, it's surpassing that. Like it's, yeah.
That's how we are at my HOA. We started with 2 courts, then we put 4 more temporary courts on the tennis court that was never being used.
Right.
And it's still not enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about, I have a question. Maybe you guys know about this, maybe you don't, because, I said I got a sand lot in the backyard that is, it's my pickleball court, but I want to redo it.
Okay.
I want to do a real one.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
You look for a court company. They'll resurface it, and then they'll put the tennis / pickleball outdoor surface on it. They'll drill the holes into the ground deep enough to put the posts in, or you can get a really nice temporary net that you can move on and off if you want that open space and without the net for some reason, like with your kids.
Well, yeah, because for basketball, because I got basketball on both sides.
Yes. So that's what you want to do is you just want to come in, you just want to find a local court surfacing company and have them come look.
And now, would this be a pickleball court servicing or a tennis court servicing?
It's the same.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the same, guys.
It's the same. It's the same. See, there is harmony between the two sports.
It's the same. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Not too different after all.
And pickleball will always be tennis's little sibling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Our cousin.
You don't think that the student will become the teacher at some point?
Well, I think speed to market is pickleball, right? So it's like, do you think it's going to get to the Olympics in the next?
Probably not in the next decade.
You don't think next decade?
I honestly don't think so either, but there's a lot of people saying 2028 LA.
But even that, it's I don't know what they call it, like a sample game or whatever it is, right? It's like
where they test it to see
provisional.
Right. Yeah.
They did that with skateboarding, I remember, because skateboarding, they were like going to have it in, and then it took forever to get it in. And I think this last time was the first time, right?
Yeah.
I know that it was in. I don't know when.
Yeah.
And even bigger, there's big sports that have been introduced that have grown really fast and then gone directly into the Olympics without the provisional year, but that's very, very rare. And we saw, and Thomas is going to kill me for this pronunciation, but this is how I've always heard it. Maccabee Games in Israel had a provisional pickleball event, but the pictures from it were that there were not that many competitors, like 30 or 40.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Because there just wasn't representation from most of the countries, what you're saying.
That's what I'm feeling. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, duh. You have to have representation from a majority of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
In order to make it be, okay, it's in the Olympics, because that's a global games.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yep.
Exactly.
But
So
there's
that's
technically like 70 something member countries of, well, if you read that one article, it's like, I guess this organization folded or something. But
the International Federation of Pickleball.
yeah, or there's some drama going on there. But there were, 72 member countries.
Yeah, but the member countries, Kyle, would be like, oh, you moved from Russia 15 years ago to play tennis in college, and now you're a professional pickleball player. You're our Russian consulate for pickleball, and then
Yeah.
Right.
and then you check Russia off on the
Yeah,
box.
It's
right.
like,
So you're not actually bringing up in the country, and
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like in lacrosse, when they do the global games, like I played high school lacrosse with a bunch of kids who played for the Mexican national team. The Mexican
Right.
national team, the Italian national team, the Finnish national team are just all like American kids,
Yeah. It's like the basketball in the Olympics, though. Basketball's in the Olympics. All the best players were originally from the NBA, but now it's picking up in other countries, and there's other countries that can beat the US from time to time. But I think that's where we're at, but like in its infancy, where if we ever do international events, what you're going to see is most of the pros playing on the PPA or the APP or the MLP here, but they have passports. They have passports.
APP, PBA, MLP.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, got it.
Acronyms.
PPAAP, PPAAAP.
Make a song out of it.
Yeah.
Like the ABC.
Pap. Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to make a movie about pickleball, there needs to be definitely something touching on the PPAAP exact reverse acronym.
How many events? How many actual
Too many. Every single weekend there's a pro event, and that's one of the problems. So like everybody's fighting to get viewership to justify these sponsorship deals that they want to keep their businesses going, but they're all competing with each other for eyeballs, and they're hurting each other right now. The players are burnt out. There's just too much.
Heavy saturation.
Yeah.
And you can't be represented in one league if you're in the other league because they're playing simultaneously or whatever. Because
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, the PPA has exclusivity to a certain handful of players that can't play any other events.
Yeah.
And so they're handcuffed to only playing PPA events, whereas APP is more open. But a lot of people who have not been contracted or didn't want to contract with the PPA prefer the APP just out of spite, maybe. Or
there's definitely that for sure.
And then the MLP, the same. The MLP, like the PPA players can't play at the MLP, but the MLP is like the biggest money events. So then there's like a draw, and then the PPA players feel left out because they can't move over to the MLP, and the MLP is like making bigger and bigger prize purses just so that the PPA players feel jealous from it, and it's a whole thing. So it's
good,
just,
Tyson. That was a nice little rundown there.
Yeah, that's the drama right there, man.
It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for clicks.
Wild. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wow. So what's up? Is the MLP is it doing all right? Or
the MLP is doing okay, but right now it's just a handful of events. It's like 3 or 4 events, and what they do is they do a team style play where they select 2 males and 2 females, and then they play a game of women's doubles, a game of men's doubles, and 2 games of mixed doubles, and then tally those scores to see which is the winning team, and then they play for $100,000 prize purse.
Yeah,
or $100,000 victory. Yeah. So if you are on one of those teams and you win your whole team out, 12 teams, if your team wins, you take home $25K of the $100K because there's only 4 of you on a team.
That's dope.
So not a bad weekend.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
right.
That's what's coming up in Newport here. The second installment of the 2022 Major League Pickleball season. So that's what's happening in Newport. Simultaneously, just north of there, the PPA is basically like they're basically putting on this event just to compete head to head with MLP. A lot of animosity between the 2 groups right now, but
right.
Yeah. But the MLP, like the style they do, is super, super exciting because they do rally scoring instead of service scoring. And
really?
Yeah, and it goes quick and fast. The reason they do that is so that they can schedule. because
I've
timing
never
wise,
played that. I've never played that way.
Oh,
You
it's
can play
weird.
pickleball rally scoring.
people
Yeah.
don't. That's just for these events, and it's because
What, you just alternate, or you're doing like?
no,
Are you just
if
alternating serves?
you win the point, you're serving.
Oh, okay, but you can get a point no matter what.
But you can get a point no matter what. So if you're
Right, okay, got it.
returning and you win the point, you score a point and you get service.
And that's how the MLP does it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Because it's easy to schedule because you know around how long a game's going to take versus first to 11 win by 2 could take an hour, but it could
Right.
also take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Whoa. So that's like the real business mind of it, is like alter
Yeah.
this sport to fit in this time slot so we can schedule it. All right.
Right.
All right.
correct.
All right. Right
So,
on.
but it works and it makes it very exciting, and it comes down to the wire a lot. And then they have a tiebreaker that goes to singles. So then every player on each team plays 4 singles points against another player from the other team. It's kind of like the soccer tiebreaker shootout style thing. And
cool.
so it's pretty cool too. But you should definitely check out some of the MLP stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to play that way. I'm gonna see what that feels
It's
like.
weird, man. The first time I did it, I was like, I legitimately, like, you have to, it was like muscle memory to go back to the other type, like the scoring that we all do, and making that switch was really difficult. I could not keep track of the score.
Yeah, because
And
so
even
fast. You're
weird.
like, what? It's already 7-7. What's going on?
And even the MLP refs, when they first start it,
Yeah.
you can see that they're also like having to readjust their brains too, because they're calling the score and they're like, wait, nope, okay, here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah. For me, it's all about playing the game. That's why I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like the major league part is so interesting to watch, and that's all that. It's very cool to see it boom, but it's all about playing the sport.
yes,
That's
I agree.
yeah, that's what a majority of people have, is they get out there and they play the sport with their friends.
Right. That's where it's growing. I mean, that's
where the undercurrent is. Yeah,
Correct.
That's the whole rumble.
So,
oh, I saw this wait, did you see this hilarious ass news piece where people were flipping out at the sound of the pickleballs?
yes, lots of different cities have started complaining about that. So that article's been out a couple times.
Yeah.
I made a video of me hitting the ball and having the ball make a duck sound instead, and be like, I had some engineers engineer a ball that makes a more pleasant sound. And then I posted it. People loved it. I made another one with fart sounds instead. I never published it though, but I have on my phone.
You sent that to me though.
Let me see that one. Let me get the fart one, dude. That sounds hilarious. Flip that to me, dude. Just like you have to share it with the world. I'm just, I love that.
Now I have to share it with the world that I've talked about.
Dude, I think you do. I remember I was crying laughing because you didn't provide any context. I didn't know what I was like about to watch.
That's so tight.
Kyle, you're gonna think it's so elementary because I'm not an editor. I'm not a TV. I mean, I am a TV guy, but I'm a personality. I'm not. So
that's what makes it cool. That's the charm, dude.
Yeah.
Let me get that. Yeah.
Okay.
Send it to me first. I'll give you notes, and then you can publish it to the world.
I'm not editing it again. So it's either this is good, put it out, or don't put this out.
If it's got more than 2 fart sounds, it's good. Put it out.
It's got like 20.
It's good. Put it out.
Every time the paddle hits the ball, I erase the ball slap sound with a.
It's good.
Yeah.
Put it out.
Okay. This guy knows. Yeah, this is his craft and his art. So I feel pretty confident.
I mean, this is literally a profession.
Put it out. That's so good. All right, that's cool.
We got anything else, Thomas?
No, I don't think so. This was great. The one thing I wanted to mention, Kyle, was that I saw you you were a producer on Childish Gambino's Heartbeat, and I thought that was so. I was just looking through it, and I have a vivid memory of me in 2012 washing windows. I had this job washing windows, just listening to that.
Oh, really?
Song. I love that song. Yeah. So
that was a fantastic project, man. Yeah, I met him on Community. I met Donald on Community.
And
then he was starting to get into I mean, he was already in it, but he was going deeper into the music,
Mhm.
and he asked me to come direct and produce that.
He's
And
one of those
yeah,
guys who's just like super, super impressive, and people don't realize all the different things he's doing at like the highest level you can do those things.
yeah, he's always functioned at an incredibly high level.
Yeah.
And the times I've gotten to work with him have been fantastic. That music video is one of them. I think there's a special texture to that video. Thank you for watching. I
But
appreciate you bringing that up.
also Kyle Newacheck is a multi-talent too, Thomas. Come on.
Yeah.
We don't wanna
That's
take
right.
Yeah,
This
but
is
he
about
knows.
Kyle right now.
Podcaster,
Yeah, but you know,
actor,
Gambino, true.
producer,
I didn't
pickleball
make it.
player.
See, I go in different worlds. I didn't
Mhm.
make it too far as a musician, you know.
Yet.
I kind of pulled back, and I'm putting all my chips into P-ball. All right, so
That's where it's at.
let's go.
Okay, Kyle, thank you so much for being with us, dude. I'll DM you back and forth, get your address, send you some shoes.
Yeah, send me your
Yo.
address too. I'll get
Okay.
you some dink swag.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to come talk pickle whenever, and also more than happy to come play pickle whenever.
We'll get a game.
Same here. If you're ever in Phoenix area, let me know. I can get us indoor, outdoor, whatever kind of court you need, and we'll go play and have some fun.
Oh, mama.
That's
All right.
right.
Let's get after it. All right,
Okay.
cool.
Later,
Guys. Bye.
See ya.